Hi everyone, it's Roger here from what's on DisneyPlus.com, and in this video I'll be giving you a tour of Star. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So as you can see, we've now got Disney Plus up in the browser here, and you can see we've got a massive difference now with the Star icon here alongside National Geographic Star Wars. Little notes coming up advising everyone about the new parental controls. I think it's a very good idea that they have done this, put it on the front screen so you can see it. There's no hiding from it, you know, it's there and they need to do it. So they're also highlighting as well, like the new solar opposites. It's all kind of intermixed with all the Disney Plus stuff. So let's have a look here. So first off, this is the home page. See here, we've got the icon. We'll go into that in a minute. So we've got the new on Disney Plus one. Does look like they decided to kind of not add the Star one today. I think that makes a lot of sense of what they've put on there, because otherwise it just flooded out everything, and so I kind of see why they've done it. But it'd been nice to have seen a few things like there, like the Star originals. So the big one next down, we have this new Star highlights section available. So we've got the banner, so we've got things like Big Sky, The Favourite, Modern Family, Devil Wears Prada. Obviously this is based on the UK. There are some regional differences, like the Netherlands and also Canada and Australia have all got kind of different ones. Some of it's the same, but there are a few things that are called out with existing contracts, so there are some regional differences. So I'm just going to go through here on the UK one. So you can see here we've got shows like Lost, Atlanta, Die Hard 2, Solar Opposites. Now you can see there with Solar Opposites, it does actually have a very small little Star original logo in the corner. At the minute, I'll show you in a minute, the original section doesn't seem to have the Star ones in there. I'm hoping that will change and they will kind of get their own separate section at some point. So you've got the Hot Zone, which is a National Geographic show that I want to be watching. Borat, just weird seeing Borat sat here on Disney Plus. Very strange. Then we got like Kingsman. So you're really kind of showing off kind of maybe like the best that Star has got, and there's quite a few bits and pieces there that are very interesting. I also want to watch Valley of the Boom, a couple of National Geographic shows that have not been available over here for a while. Yeah, so that's there. And then you can see here we've got, I watched Deadpool 2 this morning, and I also watched some Family Guy last night when it was starting to upload. And then because I watched Deadpool 2, they think I should watch Nutcracker in the Four Realms. I suppose there is some nutcracking going on in Deadpool. And then we've got Wolverine. And then as you can see, the mix of things is suddenly becoming a little bit more interesting. We have comedy series. So a very mix now of like Muppets Now with How I Met Your Mother. Very much more variety there. Plenty of comedy shows for all of us to be watching. Animated movies. Obviously doesn't affect too much with Star, though the only one big one that was added today was Titan AE. So the Star brand doesn't necessarily mean it's just for adults. There are kids stuff in there as well. They're kind of moving a lot of the sort of the non-Disney branded stuff in there. So action and adventure, you know, we've got Black Panther with Die Hard with Vengeance, Independence Day, Mulan, and just a real mix of stuff. It's suddenly strange of when you've been kind of going through this. It's taken a while. I mean, I've been going through here for probably about 2 hours last night, just going through, seeing how it was all looking and how it was, and to find what was going on there. It still feels so strange. It feels so strange to be seeing these kind of shows and movies popping up next, you know, next to Disney shows. You know, we've been so used to the way they've been with Disney Plus. It's just crazy to see how much it has changed. But also, it just makes it so much more of an appealing service for adults, and that's exactly what they've done it for. So there we go. Then we got drama series, loads of big ones here like Scandal, Bones, Prison Break, and then just seeing that next to The Right Stuff, you know. And I'm hoping we'll see a lot more people watching these kind of shows because it's all there available. It's going to make a big difference in terms of what is watched on Disney Plus, I'm sure. And there's going to be loads more to come. I mean, we've got the 4 originals that we've got to begin with. We've got a few more series dropping, like Dollface next in March. Then we've got Rebel dropping in May. We've got the National Geographic Aretha Franklin. I'll say that one a few times. The Genius one, that's going to be coming. And there'll be 35 originals, so there's going to be so much. But there's some really interesting series dropping in here. Adult animation, you know, we've got Family Guy, The Simpsons, Solar Opposites. It's, you know, it's all in there, and it's definitely good. A good thing with Futurama, it wasn't originally announced for the UK, but they got it on there. So the trending tab at the minute doesn't look like it's been completely updated with any of the Star stuff. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that because that might change a lot, I think. So we'll be covering that a little bit more. So you can see with comedy movies. So we've got a few different kind of movies in there as well. Yeah, just like I said, very, very wide selection of content. Science fiction, The Strain, and amazing. I really enjoyed that series. Watched all 4 of them, so I would recommend that one. It's definitely a bit weird with the whole kind of coronavirus situation, but hoping the sort of becoming a vampire is almost like a disease, so it's very fun with that one. Star Troopers, I love that movie. It's completely stupid, but I'm glad it's on there. The Gifted, if you haven't watched that one there, that's a kind of pretty cool little Marvel series. It's a shame they could have done a lot more with it, but they were a bit restricted. Firefly, this is one that I want to watch because I heard so many people talking about it. It's become so popular, and you got a few other science fiction ones in there. Plenty of things to be watching. Collections, they haven't added any Star collections or anything yet in there. Hopefully that will be coming in soon. So it makes sense for them to have gradually add them in, but I think they're probably doing small rollouts and adding little things into it, kind of get it working and make sure it doesn't fall over. And so I think they have stripped out a few little things. Thrillers, I mean, you know, Die Hard 2, Bad Times at El Royale, Con Air, Hellstrom, you know, thrillers suddenly now looks like a decent section. You know, it's just something that you didn't see before. The Marvel section is obviously now complete. Documentaries, I think from that point of view, I mean, we've got a movie now about Hitler, Nazis. It's things that we wouldn't necessarily have seen before. Like, just would never have been on Disney Plus as it was. Like I said, it still feels very strange of how this works. Nostalgia movies, I still think there's a long way to go. We've not really cracked into a lot of the nostalgia kind of content I think that Fox offers. And we've got Cleopatra there, but I don't think they went too far into the back catalogue. I think there's a lot more to come on that one. So we've got here HDR and 4K movies, so like Die Hard 4. Maybe not as much as we'd like, but there is plenty there to choose from. Then we've got some throwback, some old movie, Romancing the Stone. I mean, that's such a great movie. Cocktail, some really kind of classic ones. To Fly. I mean, that one's a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one. Yeah, so just flicking through here, just a couple of movies, and some of them I'm kind of still spotting new stuff. I mean, Good Morning Vietnam. Working Girl, White Men Can't Jump, some great movies there. And it's just kind of nice just to see all these different things kicking in. Again, musicals. Now that's massively boosted up with things like Moulin Rouge, Glee. So many different bits in here. The Celebrate Black Stories has been updated with some new content as well, like Blackish and Resurrection. So they've been kind of putting those things in. So that, and then you've got all your Disney Channel's favourites at the bottom. So let's now go all the way up. Show off the originals tab. As I said, that hasn't been. They have now added the Star featured originals. That wasn't there about an hour ago. So that's come in now, which is good. I'm glad that they've put that into there so we can see them. I think that's definitely a good thing going forward. And then we've got the movies. One thing I have noticed, they've updated us a little bit with like thrillers. And it definitely feels like they're updating, because some of this wasn't here like 2 hours ago when I was looking. So there's more options available within the type of movie you want to watch. So these are all the action adventure stars. So, and then we've got the series, and again, so they've broken this down into different sections as well. So you've got like animation, comedy, documentary series, thrillers. I think they've removed the whole series. I think this is just too many of them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the home. And then I want to just click on Star and show off that area a little bit more, because it's a lot easier to see it, because then you're not having it all mixed in with all the Disney stuff. So as you can see, we've got the featured aisle, and we've got the adult animation. Critically acclaimed, so some really kind of high-end movies there. Things like Braveheart, The Favourite, Hitchcock Quiz Show. And we'll be seeing a lot more things like this. For example, like in Canada, in April, they'll be getting Nomadland. So I'm sure that'll be arriving everywhere else pretty soon as well. It's a nice selection of different movies in the critically acclaimed. Then we've got the romantic comedies. We've got Love Victor in there. Casanova, Shallow Hal. Just a wide... I mean, they added like, I think it was like just under 300 movies, 75 series, 4 originals. And that was just in the UK, a little bit more for everybody else. So we've got Scandal, Bones, 911, Prison Break, Revenge, Lie to Me, The Fosters, Desperate Housewives, Burn Notice, Devious Maid, The Killing, Perception, Alias, Snowfall, 24. 24 is such a fantastic series. Comedy series as well. We've got How I Met Your Mother, Scrubs, Blackish. Also, Grownish is going to be coming as a Star original in some countries like the UK where it's not available. So that's one that I kind of would quite like to watch. Raising Hope. Action movies, just some. I mean, that's probably my. This is where that line is where I've probably seen pretty much most of these movies. The Alamo. I remember actually going to the actual Alamo, and I had never really knew much about it, so I got home and had to watch the movie to kind of work out what it was. Commando. I mean, fantastic, classic '80s Arnold Schwarzenegger there. Things like Predator are available in Australia. They're not available yet here in the UK. Same thing with Aliens. So some great action movies. Oh, look, John Cena the Marine. That's actually not that bad. I mean, not so good with the Miz in, but there we go. Yeah. Planet of the Apes. I'm sure we'll see more of them added at the minute. We've not got all of them, but I really enjoyed the Planet of the Apes movie. It just, again, Borat just looks so out of place. It just doesn't look right. Here we go. Some more comedy movies. Different selection, and this is just going to keep growing because they want to get up to like 1,000 titles by the end of the first year. So this is pretty much going to double what we've got already available today, and we're going to be seeing stuff dropping each week onto there. So we've got some horror things. So you know, if you like your horror, I want to get into Hellstrom, see what that one's like. I've not seen that one yet. That one's on my plan to watch this week because we didn't get early access to them. X-Files. I haven't seen the two new series since the revival, so I might check them out at some point, put them on my watch list. A load of science fiction stuff. The Maze Runner, that's a really good franchise. Lost, I did watch that the first time round. I'm not going to be watching it. Yeah, good if you're going into it for the first time, but for me, I'm not something I'd want to. And I also think that, you know, you see like here, Once Upon a Time has been put in here, which is funny. Because it looks like they've actually shifted that one over into the section as well, which is interesting. I hadn't expected that one. Musical, like Sound of Music, that looks like that's been put into the Star section. I think anything that just doesn't fit within the Disney banner. Crimes and Mystery series. I remember watching the first season of Lie to Me, but they kind of fell off of that one for a bit. Bones, never seen Bones. Action comedies, loads of stuff in here to check out. I mean, Spy Hard, Kung Pao Enter the Fifth. Oh, I remember that one from college. Like I say, there'll be a lot more. The interesting one that really jumps in here, we have got documentaries. As I said, we got the Celebrate Black Stories, which was on the homepage as well. Documentaries. So there's quite a few ESPN specials have been added onto here because we don't have ESPN. So like. I think that's a really good area for Disney Plus to have access to content that we would never have had. I've added the Nature Boy one. That's one that I want to watch because I've been a fan of Ric Flair since I was a kid. And then we got bingeable series. I think this is going to be a real big thing for Disney Plus. Is, you know, these series that are just running for season after season with hundreds of episodes are just going to really help dominate how much time people spend in Disney Plus, and that's just going to continue to grow. But there we go, and then we've got these cult classics here at the bottom. So we're going to see a lot more in here. This is just going to continue to grow. There's just so much being added to Disney Plus going on. Before we go too much, just want to show you, if you go into your app profile here, you can kind of change your profile. And what you can do is you can set in your content rating. So you have to put in your password, or you can set it for a pin as well. So what you can do with that is you can change your settings depending on what you want to do, and if you want to set up a child setting. Now I would say if you've got kids or any children in the house, go in, set yours to have the pin number. Maybe don't put theirs with the pin number. Make sure you pick a new pin number. Don't do something that you already know. Don't make it too obvious, like loads of ones or loads of noughts. So you can have access to it, and because the old way of Disney Plus, you didn't have to worry about it. Where now, you know, Disney being very open about the fact that this stuff is here. You know, we're seeing the front pages, you know, with this parental controls thing. Just be aware of it. You know, if they're 14 years old, set it to 14. If they're 16, set it to 16. If you think your 15-year-old can handle the 16 content, you know, that's your choice, and you can set that as you want. This is just there as a guidance. Same thing for the 18. You know, if they're 16 and you think actually they can, then maybe don't need to set that up. But that's on you to choose and what you want to do. But there's a lot more content on there now, and just so much stuff. And it is just very strange seeing all of this integrated all into one. You know, like I said, my continue watching list is suddenly now completely changed with having this content in there. And that's, I think, a great thing for Disney Plus going forward, and is just going to continue to grow. But there we go. So that was just a brief tour of Disney Plus Star in the UK on launch day. So it will continue to grow. But let me know what you're going to be watching, what you're going to be added to your watch list. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I will actually, before we go off, I will just show you the Marvel section. So you can see here we've got those shows are in there as well, so you can actually see them in here. So you can see now you've got the Deadpool movies. Unfortunately, the first movie is not available yet in the UK. So if we go into National Geographic, we also will now see some of the other content that wouldn't have been there before, like Drugs Inc. and Hot Zone. So they are showing up in here. Now the interesting thing will be is if in the Disney section, will we also see Once Upon a Time, etc. It doesn't look like it's flagging up just yet. But now it makes so much more sense with the Disney branding, where they can kind of keep everything a little bit more in line of how they want to do it. But yes, so there we go. That is Disney Plus with the new Star Edition. Let me know what you think of all of this in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.